Welcome back, baseball. We sure did miss those sweet sounds and, of course, the sights. Time to kick off the season for the Mariners as they host San Diego in the annual charity game at the Peoria Sports Complex. You see it there, fans filing in for the very first time. Mariners and Pods, they share the complex, but today they are rivals. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another season of Mariners baseball right here on Root Sports. I'm Brad Adam. Now, we're televising 16 Cactus League games this spring, the most in team history. It comes at a good time as well, with all the expectations surrounding this team. Now, for more on what to expect this year, let's send it to Dave Sims and Mike Blowers for the first time down in Arizona.
Well, Mike and I are starting year 9 together doing Mariner broadcasts, and we're pretty fired up, as is everybody back in the Pacific Northwest. Now, we come out of 07 and 09 with winning seasons, and then going into the next seasons, things didn't quite work out. The anticipation this year, why is it different?
Well, I think, first of all, it's hard to compare all of these different clubs, but I think if you look what these guys did last year, 87 wins, and they still have basically the same pitching staff, which is the best pitching staff in the American League, that should make you feel pretty good to start with. And then the additions that they made offensively, I think you have to feel good about this club. But again, when you have Felix at the top of your rotation and the best bullpen in the American League, Dave, I think that at that point there's reason to be optimistic when you look at the offense and it getting better.
Absolutely. Add a thumper like Nelson Cruz into this lineup. Anticipation is really high here in Mariner camp. We look forward to bringing you 16 spring training games here on Root Sports.
That's right, Dave and Mike, thank you. The first one just minutes away. I'm joined now by our baseball analyst, Mr. Bill Kruger. You're back. Baseball's back.
Oh, I just love it. The only thing we're missing here is the cut grass smell. But I think I'm sensing it. But it's a beautiful day down there. Beautiful day here. It feels like baseball.
Exactly. We just have to work on our tans a little bit, spring training tans, which we will do. All right, first day of spring training, so everybody's optimistic. Every team believes they can win the World Series. But for the Mariners and their fans, real reason for optimism.
Well, I think Mike touched on a lot of those things. 87 wins, right at the cusp of making the playoffs. You go out and you add a guy like Nelson Cruz. You add bench and veteran help in the right field position with Seth Smith and Justin Ruggiano, of course, Ricky Weeks. All that pitching back that was #1 in the American League. And I think a culture change now with Lloyd McClendon running the show. This team knows how to win.
Second year for Lloyd. They add some right-handed thumps. Hopefully that will improve the offense. The Padres did a lot, too, this offseason. A check of their lineup for Bud Black features a new-look outfield. Cameron Maybin leads off in center. Then Yonder Alonso, one of my favorite names, at first. Then Matt Kemp came over this offseason in a trade with the Dodgers, and Justin Upson, who also came over to trade this one with the Braves. You're going to see Carlos Quentin, Jed Jerko, Yangervis Solarte, who was an acquisition from the Yankees, Clint Barnes, and Will Nieves. So a new-look team for the Padres. And the man facing that new-look lineup, Taijuan Walker, going to get the start today. He's trying to earn a spot in the starting rotation. He went 2-3 last year in 8 games, 5 of them starts. So, Bill, what's the key for Taijuan this spring? He's trying to make that team. What is he working on? What's the focus for Taijuan?
Well, first of all, he's healthy. Last year, shoulder injury really retarded the development for him. And really, when he did start to pitch in the big leagues last year, had trouble with control, had 13 walks in those 15 innings. But when he came back in September, much different pitcher. Attacked the strike zone. Walks went way down. Of course, had the dominating performance against Toronto. They really just want him to go out there and be more consistent. He doesn't have to light the world on fire, manage innings, don't get into a pattern of trying to strike everybody out. And I think if he does those things, he's going to be fine. He is an awesome talent.
You see him there getting loose, getting ready. We're thinking probably a couple of innings for him. Look at the Mariners lineup for today. James Jones leading off, followed by Chris Taylor at short. DJ Peterson, look at the numbers he put up in the minors last year. He's a DH. Jesus Montero, slimmed down Montero at first. Romero, Carlos Rivera, Julio Morban in right, John Hicks. The catcher, and Ketel Marte, shortstop last year in Tacoma, playing second base today in Game 1, again, of 16 on Root Sports. Let's go back to the Peoria Sports Complex. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, I know you guys are pumped up and ready for baseball this year.
Absolutely, Brad, and good afternoon, everybody. Spectacular day here, although a little bit windy here in Peoria, Arizona. Folks enjoying the sunshine out on the berm as we get ready for baseball. First of 192 plus, Michael. 192 plus.
I am ready. This is great to be down here. It's been good to watch you guys work out for a couple of days, and they are ready to play some baseball. And here we go with the opener this year.
Taijuan Walker, we were so impressed by him in that last start. Magnificent, complete game he threw in a tough loss up in Toronto. If he picks up from there, boy, the Mariners are going to be in good shape.
Well, they'll be in great shape if that's going to be the case. He was dominant in that last start against the Blue Jays. One of the things we saw in that outing was great fastball command, but he also used his changeup a little bit more in that outing. Be curious to see what he's going to do. I don't think we're going to see as many cutters from him this year. I think he's basically going to be an overpowering fastball with a good changeup and that curveball that can be devastating at times.
Yeah, and with the stuff he has, that should work for a long time. Signature performance, it was last September 24th. 1-0 loss, 8 innings, 4 hits, 1-run ball, 1 walk, and 6 Ks. Leading off for the Padres, the remade Padres. As we go through there, you'll see a lot of their regulars here, at least at the start. Cameron Maben, their center fielder. Taijuan Walker going from a real modified windup. First pitch off the plate.
I think just as a reminder, the starters their first time through probably pitched 2 innings. Basically trying to get some fastball command. These guys are still building up some arm strength. I don't know how many breaking balls or changeups we'll see from Taijuan today.
Mike DeMuro behind home plate. Jim Joyce, Scott Barry, and Quinn Walcott on the bases. Good sink to that pitch. 1-2. Hit foul. Looking forward to seeing some of these youngsters. I thought, like everybody else, we'd probably see the veterans of the first day. Lloyd McClendon said he'll go with those guys tomorrow. He says my goal is to get everybody and have them up to speed for April 6th and not to wear everybody out. But fascinated, as is everybody. I'm sure Jesus Montero at first base remade his body.
Well, and he's getting an opportunity to play here in the spring, so he has some work to do. And I think having a good spring would be a right step for him because, as we all know, over the last couple of years, things haven't gone particularly well for him. But he looks good. Looks like he's in good shape.
Oh, he looks tremendous. Rick Griffin, longtime head athletic trainer, going through some pre-testing, and he said, go over and give me that 40-pound dumbbell. Here's a pitch to Walker. Hit well, just past Carlos Rivero into left field for a base hit. And so Montero brings the dumbbell back to Rick. He said, what's this for? He said, that's how much percentage of fat, that's pounds in fat that you've lost, 40. That's a tribute to the young guy.
Well, it is. And again, I think here early in spring training, the first week especially, the hitters will have a little bit of an advantage because they're going to see a lot of fastballs, and that's a fastball middle in from Taijuan. Now, that's a great point. And when you think about Montero with some of the leg issues he's had, that's 40 pounds is a lot. Hopefully he'll move around a little bit better.
Under Alonso, first baseman, fouls one off. Alonso at 240 hitter, 7 homers, 27 runs batted in last season.
You brought up a great point, too, with Lloyd and the regulars, and just get him to the start of the season healthy. I think the other part of that, too, is spring training is pretty long, and I think that he's going to let the kids play quite a bit here in the first week or so. I think we'll see a majority of the regulars tomorrow, probably just for maybe 3 or 4 innings. It was interesting today, being you were down there with me watching the guys take batting practice.
Great jump by Maben, stolen base.
A reminder for Taijuan, have to pay attention to those guys over at first. And he had a couple of steps before he even started his delivery to home.
Center fielder Jones shading towards right center. 2 strikes.
Well, it looks like Taijuan's basically staying with his fastball and changeup. It'll be interesting to watch the outfielders. We talk about it every spring, but here in Arizona, it can be difficult at times. You have the high sky, of course, the sun. Today, there's a pretty good breeze blowing out to right field. Cause some problems for the guys out there.
Flags on the batter's eye, pretty stiff, pointing toward right field. American flag in right field going that way, and down on the main practice field. Boy, you were really feeling the brunt of it coming in hard. 2-2 pitch coming. This will be handled by Marte, a 20-year-old bright prospect infielder. One down with the runner Maben going to third.
And again, we're going to see a lot of the youngsters play. And Marte, talented as you mentioned. Good job. Come get the ball. I know that's early in spring training. These guys, especially the young players, are always happy to get that first play out of the way, and that was a nice little two-hopper for them.
It doesn't matter how long you play. Even the veteran guy, you want to get it out of the way, get it done.
It just you feel better once you get it out of the way. That first at bat and the first ground ball for the pitchers getting out there and get the first strike thrown.
He's one of the major San Diego acquisitions. Matt Kemp got him in a trade with the Dodgers. And you look at the new Padres in 2015, Clint Barmas, Tim Fedorowicz, Sean Kelly, Matt Kemp, Brandon Maurer, Will Middlebrooks, Brandon Morrow, Will Myers, Derek Norris, and Justin Upton. That's a remake because they went 77 and 85, 17 games back of the Dodgers, who won the division. Giants, of course, went on to win the World Series. But in 6 major offensive categories, they were dead last in the National League.
Well, they needed some help, and they ended up getting a lot of it. Some quality players and hitters that they've been able to pick up. So I'll be curious to see how they go over the course of the summer.
Pitching wasn't bad. Second in ERA. Down the line, that is a foul ball. Second to the Washington Nationals in ERA in the National League. But boy, last in runs, hits, doubles. Last in RBIs, next to last in home runs, last in batting average and on base and slugging. New GM A.J. Preller, boy, he went out. Folks controlling the purse string said, "Go get it, big boy," and he did. One out with a man at third. Infield up close. Nice dig by John Hicks. 2-2. About 3 years ago, how about the start that Kemp had? He and Josh Hamilton probably for that stretch easily the 2 best players in baseball.
Well, and I think the Padres are just hoping that he has a healthy season. Take a look at Lloyd McClendon, Trent Jewett next to him.
2-2 from Walker. Got him a chase. Nice pitch by Walker. 2-out. He wants first strikeout.
Looks like an off-speed pitch, and that looks like the changeup. Talked about that Blue Jays last game of the year for Taiwan. Over the course of the summer, he was about 17% with his changeup, but he was 27% in that game, and I think he gained a lot of confidence in that pitch. He typically would try to throw his curveball a little bit more. But that's a good changeup today.
There's Justin Upton.
There's the breaking ball. The key to it, of course, is the location, keeping that pitch down with a couple of strikes on Kemp.
Upton stands in off 2 years in Atlanta. Off-season acquisition. Career .274 hitter. 56 home runs, driven on 172 runs the last 2 years. For 6 years with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and almost acquired by the Mariners for Taiwan Walker. He had a no-trade in his clause in his contract, and they put the kibosh on that a couple of years ago.
I think the Mariner fans are happy about that right now.
Mm-hmm. Ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fly ball right center field. And Julio Morban puts it away. Good start for Taiwan Walker and the Mariners. Mariners coming to bat against Jason Lane. What a story he is on this bright afternoon here in Peoria, Arizona. Good to have you with us. Have you with us here at Mariners Baseball.
Today, maybe try to get out of that wind a little bit. Padres 1 hit, no runs in their half of the first. And where are you watching today's game from? Hey, show us by sharing photos of you and your friends cheering on the Mariners. Use the hashtag #WhereIRoot on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and you could be featured on air. And remember, we want to see you in the shot. We'll get back to Peoria, where we could just hear Dave and Mike. Yes?
There you go, Brett. Thank you very much. Good to have you with us, everybody. As James Jones going to lead it off here for the Mariners in the home first. James Jones will face veteran Jason Lane, a converted outfielder. And he's getting the start today. A lot of us thought that James Shields might get the start. Another one of the newly acquired Padres. Here's Jonesy. .250 hitter, no homers, 9 runs batted in, but his greatest value is catch the ball in the outfield, and he went 27 for 28 in base steals.
Well, it is his speed, and it'll be interesting as this spring moves along how he's going to try to find a way to fit on this club and what Lloyd wants his bench to ultimately look like, and I think that's where he'll end up. So I think we'll see him run quite a bit during the spring. You mentioned Lane being a veteran. He's a veteran outfielder. Converted into a pitcher, getting a chance here with the Padres.
Spent a lot of time with the Houston Astros from 02 to 07, cup of coffee with the Padres, and working his way back to the majors as a pitcher. There's Bud Black in the middle. Only Mike Scioscia's been a big league manager with the same team longer than Bud. As Jones grounds out to the shortstop Clint Barnes, the former Pirate and Colorado Rocky, 1 down. There comes a guy in the middle of probably the biggest contest on this ball club at shortstop. He and Brad Miller talking about Chris Taylor.
I think it would be Taylor and Miller, and then of course Walker and Elias for the rotation, but these guys are going to have to battle it out. A chance to talk to Brad. He looks great. Probably he'll play tomorrow, but Chris Taylor getting a chance to try to win a job.
Fly ball right field. Matt Kemp takes care of it. Well, here's a guy I've been excited to see. Heard so much about him. DJ Peterson. Here's a guy that banged out 31 home runs at a couple of levels in the minor leagues last year. 6'1", 210. Chandler, Arizona. 18 homers with High Desert and A-ball. AA Jackson, 13 homers.
We had a chance to watch DJ play quite a bit last spring, and he was impressive. A little bit worried. You see that guard on the helmet. He was hit in the face a couple of years ago, and they were a little bit concerned about that. But as Dave mentioned, 31 home runs last year between a couple of stops, so it didn't bother him that much.
DHing today. That's it. Well, deep left center field. DJ Peterson's hit it up on the berm and out of here. 1-0 Mariners. A laser shot. The first home run of the spring. It makes noise like that. It'll be very interesting. Not bad for your first at-bat of the spring.
I was talking about his ability to hit after what I saw from last year, but you can see how short and quick that swing is. It's fastball. It's actually probably middle away, but it's elevated, and he lines it out of here. It looked as if the wind was actually trying to knock it down a little bit, but still strong enough to hit it over the left center field fence.
There's Jesus Montero up the middle base hit. Montero off to a good start this spring. I know, talking to you back in January and even latter stages of last season, that's the thing you kept talking about. Short. We do know he's aggressive and doesn't lack for confidence. Talking about Mr. Peterson. I like that.
He doesn't. And if you talk to him, you get the message real quick that he believes that he's going to play here and that he can play here. And I like that a lot.
You get the feeling he's talking sooner rather than later. Here's another line drive. This off the bat of Stephan Romero.
Well, when you're a young player, the smart thing to do early in spring training is get after the fastball, and that's what's happening right now. Mariners being aggressive. Solid line drive from Romero. We'll take a look at his swing. Short swing. This pitch a little bit easier to handle. Probably just above the knees as he lines it into left field.
Boy, he had a big moment last year in Atlanta with a home run to get the Mariners back in a game that they eventually won, and part of a sweep down there. Carlos Rivero, third baseman.
We're talking about DJ Peterson before that base hit, and I think he's here trying to win a job right now. He's not yet.
Absolutely.
Last year, he was just in camp for the first time, but I think this year he's come into camp trying to win a job.
Looper, center field, Maben's there, makes the catch. Mariners get a run on 3 hits. Home run by DJ Peterson have a 1-0 lead.
It's a big home run from DJ Peterson. They lead 1-0 after 1. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. I think that Peterson blast, guys, almost hit that blimp. That was well hit out there to left center.
Boy, he's just as advertised. As we mentioned, 31 home runs at a couple of levels of minor league ball last year. DJ Peterson making his presence felt here in his first at bat of the spring. 1-1 pitch, lined it over the fence, left center field. Here's Taijuan Walker's first pitch to Carlos Quentin. In there for strike one. Quentin limited to just 50 games. A lot of injuries for him. He's had a tough go. Had a big year several years ago for the White Sox, and been trying to work his way back ever since. Breaking ball misses outside.
He probably came to spring training wondering where he's going to fit on this club.
How about that?
You have Kemp and Upton on the corner outfield spots, and they're talking about Will Myers playing center field.
Bouncing ball to the shortstop, Chris Taylor. Goes to Montero. Out number 1. Quentin had a big year back in 08. 36 homers and 100 RBIs. But for 20 plus, a few more years, but these last 3 years have really been difficult. Chris Taylor, what a battle.
Well, I think you have an idea. You saw that last ground ball to him. A little bit of an in-between hop, but he handled it flawlessly, and I think that's where his strength is going to be, is his defense.
Talking to Brad Miller this morning. Look, I told him, I said, you look like a bass player in a rock and roll band. He's let his hair grow.
I saw him, too. I talked.
But he's big.
He put on some weight, yeah.
Yeah, I said,
Looks
what'd
good.
you put on? He says 220. He's at 220, and he's moving well. It hasn't restricted him at all.
Well.
Veteran infielder Jed Jerko. Ball with 2 strikes.
Taiwan in the first inning, 20 pitches, 10 strikes, 10 balls. So again, most of the starters just trying to feel their way through this first game.
Board by him. Hit 2-2 fastball. Second strikeout for Taiwan. 2 down here in the second. Mariners single game tickets. They go on sale this Saturday. But when you register for Mariners Mail, you'll be able to take part in a special pre-sale on Friday. Lock up seats to your favorite games, including opening day, before the general public when you sign up at mariners.com/register. That's mariners.com/register. Yangervis Solarte. We saw him with the Yankees last year. Left field for Romero. Nice inning for Taiwan Walker. Goes 1, 2, 3 here in the second. Mariners lead it 1-0. In the city of Peoria, Arizona, they've gone all out. Renovations and new improvements to this stadium totaled $9.5 million, and this is just one of them. The new pavilion out there in left field, enhancing the viewing experience here to watch Mariner baseball along with Padres baseball during the spring.
Now the lower area is going to be a reserved area, but people that walk into the ballpark can go up there to the upper area if you've been out here before, or if you're on your way down, you want to check that out. You see the amount of concrete they put in the background too. A lot of walking area, which is probably a good idea too, because from what I understand, sales are up for both clubs, Padres and the Mariners, sharing this complex.
Outstanding complex here in the northwest suburb of Phoenix.
Nice addition.
Breaking ball for strike. Breaking ball fouled off. Julio Morbon with 242 at Tacoma last season. No homers and 7 runs batted in. Good to see Felix working down in the backfield. MLB is the subject of an MLB commercial that'll be coming out shortly, and he threw against some young players down there.
How'd he look?
He looked like Felix, and I turned away for a second, and I heard a pitch hit the glove. I heard Mike Zunino said, "Hey, that was a great pitch, whatever that was." so I see Zunino later. I said, "Dude, what was up with that?" He says, he's trying to work on a cutter a little bit. And he says he didn't even know where it's going, but it was a good pitch for a strike.
Well, I'm sure the rest of the people in the American League are happy to hear that Felix is working on another pitch.
Glenn Barmas with that catch. Brings up John Hicks.
I thought it was interesting today watching the guys taking batting practice and either fly balls and ground balls in. Talking about everybody optimistic about this club this year. It was a different feel, wasn't it? Being out there and watching them. A lot of confidence. They're having a good time. And you can really, the veterans is the thing that I noticed. The amount of veteran guys going through the paces, know what they need to do to get ready for a season. It was good to see.
I got a kick out of yesterday at the end of regular practice. The guys stuck around. Who was it? It was Zunino and Cruz, two righties, and the two lefties, Cano and Logan Morrison. And they went to long ball contest. And Howard Johnson, the hitting coach, Corey Snyder was there, and just situational hitting, and they were getting after it. And sitting there watching the ball come off of Nelson Cruz's bat. Are you kidding me?
A little different sound, isn't it?
Oh my goodness. Ground ball foul down the third baseline. Rick Griffin, again, he was talking to him yesterday, said, you went through this test, that grip test.
Yeah.
Cruz, far and away the strongest guy, both hands, strongest guy in camp.
Really?
Yeah, both hands. A lot of times you'll see, you have that one dominant hand. A soft liner, that'll get into left field for a base hit off the bat of catcher John Hicks. Let's check in with Brad Adam.
Well, Dave, you can join us this Saturday as the Portland Timbers get their 2015 MLS season underway. Tune in for kickoff at 7:30 p.m. Pacific as the Timbers host Western Conference rival Real Salt Lake. For your local programming schedule, visit rootsports.com. Back to baseball.
All right, Brett. One out, one on here for the Mariners. Bottom of the second, leading 1-0 on a DJ Peterson first inning homer.
I would think that Mike Zunino had to be way up on the charts.
He's
too.
up there, no question. That's exactly right. That popped out to Barnes for out number 2.
I shook his hand today. He's a strong young man.
Cactus League with 15 teams down here. That's when we hear our brethren over in the Florida side, man, you guys have it easy. You only have about an hour drive is the worst you have it. I said, right you are. Beautiful thing. Everybody's right here. Top of the order, James Jones.
I know. I've had spring training in Florida and Arizona. I've always preferred Arizona.
Yeah.
The weather is better too. I think you can rely on it a little bit better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it rained Monday, but we may not get rain for a while the rest of the way, right?
Maybe not see it again.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Jones with his hands way down lower from what we saw last year when he came up. Talked to him today. He says, I know who I am. He said, when the league made adjustments to me, I was pressing. Figured some things out, a little bit stronger.
It's typical,
got a better approach.
Typical of young players. They'll go into the winter and then they'll start to reflect on their season. When they're going through it, it's difficult to do that. And you hope that they make adjustments, so we'll see how James does this year. Even the veterans, for that matter.
Sure.
Talked to him. Kyle Seager last year talked about a number of changes that he wanted to make, and they paid off for him.
That's a fair ball. Easily handled by Alonso. And that'll do it for the Mariners. No runs. They had no errors and a man left. Mariners lead it 1-0 here in Peoria.
After 2, Mariners up 1-0. Taijuan Walker's day is over. We've got a new pitcher. We take a look at our Lexus pitching matchup for the rest of today's game. That is Sam Gavillo out of Oregon State. He's warming up. He's facing the Padres in the 3rd. We got Mike Kickham coming in, David Rawlins, Rafael Perez, Carson Smith, Dominic Leone, also Mark Lowe, former Mariner, now rejoined the team, and Forrest Snow out of UW. So 8 pitchers to go as we get you back to Peoria. A nice start, though, for the Mariners and also for Taijuan Walker.
Yes, indeed. Taijuan Walker, 2 strong innings, scoreless ball. Gave up 1 hit, struck out 2, didn't walk anybody. And now we focus in on Sam Gavillo, non-roster invitee. Spent the entire season last year, Double-A Springfield in the Cardinal organization, going 5-12 with a 4.28 ERA.
I thought it was a strong outing for Taijuan. 31 pitches, 17 of those for strikes. I like the fact that in the 2nd inning, it looked like he settled down a little bit, was able to get his fastball down. I think Lloyd would be happy with the outing from Taijuan. Only gave up the 1 hit, leadoff hit to Maven, and that was it.
So Gavillo out of Ashland, Oregon, college baseball at Oregon State. 3 seasons with the Beavers. 3 seasons he went 25-7. He's got 8-9-1 in the order. Clint Barmas to lead off. What a 1.
Had a good time talking to Lloyd McClendon this morning in his office. Trent Jewett was in there. And I asked him, changes from last year to this year. The biggest one, they said, is we know where we're going when we get here.
As opposed to last year.
They said, but more importantly, we know all the guys now. We know the names and what they can do and what they can't do. And shortly after that, a number of the guys were coming into the office.
Left field long run for Romero, and he's there for the out.
And that's what Trent Jewett, bench coach for Lloyd McClendon, that's what he was talking about, just the fact that you know all these guys.
That put you way ahead as opposed to last. I mean, you were way behind the 8 ball last year. Now you're way in front of it.
Well, first thing you have to do is learn all their names, and then you have to figure out what they can and can't do. And that's a difficult thing. But coming into spring training, there's a good shot at Trent. Rick Waite's a pitching coach.
And as a coaching staff, you need to know what buttons to push and what buttons not to push.
Well, you have to know the personalities of the guys, and they were laughing about that this morning. Felt a lot better about things coming into spring training this year.
Will Nieves dribbles 1 to 3rd. Rivero charges bare hand. Got him. Nice stretch by Montero at the back end. 2 away.
We'll take a look at it. Rivero playing pretty much straight away, but gets a good jump on this. The ball kicks to his right, but stays with it. Quick throw and a nice play by Montero. Showing some flexibility over at first base. Good to see.
That wasn't going to happen last year. Good for him. 2 outs. Top of the order, Cameron Maben. Maben can cover some ground, but not much of a hitter. Just 235 with 1 homer and 15 runs batted in. Will Myers, can he play center field? Got to be a big question.
That will be the question. He certainly will bring more offense to the table, but he has to be able to play. And as we know from being to San Diego a number of times over the years, there's a lot of outfield to cover there, so there's going to be some pressure on him to play some defense. As you mentioned, Maben can certainly do that.
He's getting on top of that curveball pretty well. 2-2. Marte right on the spot. Nice inning for Sam Gavillo. 1, 2, 3 in the 3rd, and we hope you're enjoying today's presentation of Mariners baseball on Root Sports. Tell us where you're watching and tweet us your picks at #WhereIRoot. ticket holder will not only join the club, he'll join the excitement of the 2015 season. Be on hand all year long as Felix, Kyle, Robinson, and the Mariners make a run for the AL West Championship. Pick out a season ticket plan and trade for you. Visit mariners.com/tickets. Little young Mariners that can groom those little pups over there in a great field outside behind first base. There it is right there. Furious Sports Complex. Taijuan Walker, his day's done, and we welcome in Bill Kruger. And Bill, what did you think of the 2 innings thrown by Mr. Walker this afternoon?
Boy, really successful. I mean, we saw what we saw when Taijuan Walker returned in September last year. The much more compact delivery, lack of variation in his motion, allowed him to get his arm up and get the ball into the strike zone. We saw him use his changeup well. He used his curveball. He got ahead in the count, and he got better as it went along, I thought. And you like the one little challenge he had. He got the man on third and 1 out in the first and had the 2 big sluggers come up and handle him pretty easy. Struck out Kemp and got an easy fly ball from Upton. I mean, you're not looking for this guy to turn the world on its ear. You just want consistency, and he was better than that.
Bill, talking about that, he's in there, and then of course you have Elias in the program too, who we saw a lot of last year. And Elias, I thought, was exceptional, especially in the first half of the season, and probably had to pitch a little more than they expected because of the injuries. What do you think the battle's going to look like between those two, and how does Lloyd make a decision between Walker and Elias?
Well, I certainly like Elias. I think he's an electric talent. He's got a little bit to learn about what pitch count means and why you've got to, let your defense make plays instead of trying to dazzle on every hitter. But I like his grit and his toughness and his stuff. And Taijuan Walker just got a huge ceiling. But he's young. So it'll be interesting to see. I think competition is a good thing. It's good for the Mariners. It's good for these 2 young men. I think the possible outside play would be that Elias becomes your middle inning left-hander. Maybe you can pitch through the lineup. Kind of like what they did with Joel Pinheiro a few years ago. That might be a way to keep him in the big leagues if indeed they choose not to have him make the rotation. But both these guys are talented. It'll be a real battle.
I agree. Bill, we're going to check in with you a little bit later. 1 and 2 here. So popped up by DJ Peterson. Second baseman Jerko's 100. Make that first baseman Alonso 2 away.
That is an interesting thought that Bill had with Elias, especially early in the season, because so many of the starters are on pitch counts. The guys aren't ready to go deep into games. You have to have those long relievers out there that can get through the lineup one time so that you can get to the back end of your bullpen, and maybe that is an opportunity for Elias. That's an interesting thought. Yep. Certainly Walker's not going to do that. He's either going to make it as the starter or he won't be on this club. But Elias, that would be an interesting thought.
Mm-hmm. 2 out, nobody on for Jesus Montero, who's singled to center his first time. And he does it again. Muscled that one out there. 2 out, not for Jesus. 2 for 2. Mariners lead on a DJ Peterson home run in the first.
That's a fastball, a running fastball. It will get in on his hands, but it gives you an idea how strong he is, able to fight it off back up the middle. Good job staying inside the baseball right there, even though it was running in on his hands.
Jesus Montero having a nice day here. For 2. In tight to Romero. Strike is called. Jim Joyce. Actually, they're rotating here today. Jim Joyce, Scott Barry, Quinn Walcott rotating on the bases. Romero in an 0-2 hole.
Watch it. Northcraft pitching right here. Has good run to his fastballs. A hitter early in spring training. The toughest part is to recognize breaking ball and the off-speed pitches. That comes a little bit later. You can certainly hit the fastball, but he has good run on his fastball, and the movement can cause some hitters some problems. There's a good slider.
Ground ball Barnes, and he boots it. First and second for the Mariners with 2 outs. E6 keeps the inning alive. Brings up Carlos Rivero. Here's a look from way upstairs. If you get problems with height, well, not gonna last so long. New and improved Jesus Montero at second.
fouled off. Rivera flied out center field his first time.
Rivera making a good defensive play, a barehanded play. The third inning, throwing Nieves out. Pick up a base hit.
Well off the plate, 1-1. Hit hard. Nice snag down there at third by Solarte. Throws him out. Fine play. And that'll do it for the Mariners. No runs, a hit, and error, 2 left. Mariners lead it 1-0. Seattle Mariners may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. As you look at the Vermilion Cliffs National Monument in northern Arizona, great scenery here in this wonderful state, the Grand Canyon State. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports Crew. First day spring training baseball game action. As we look at the several golf courses out there. Michael, what do you think? We'll play the one up at the top tomorrow, get the one on the left.
Sounds good.
The White Tank Mountains in the distance.
Weather is great. May as well give it a try.
Oh, that's going to happen.
We're here.
2-3-4 in the order here for the Padres in the top of the 4th. Ground ball, foul. Yonder Alonso is the hitter, the first baseman, followed by Matt Kemp and Justin Upton. Sam Gaviglio, second pitcher, used by the Mariners today. Taijuan Walker, 2 scoreless. And striking out 2.
Peanuts! Peanuts!
Alonso grounded out to Marte at second, his first at bat. 1-2. It did go as Jim Joyce confirms down at third. Alonso is gone here at the Peoria Stadium. An improvement. I wish we could give you credit for past efforts here. It's now a home run if you hit it on or off the batter's eye. You
above
had a couple,
that yellow line.
Above
Yep,
that yellow
that's
line.
That's the new part of it, the yellow line.
And you were denied
a couple of times, which is, for the hitters, is a little bit frustrating when you hit the ball 420, 430 feet and you end up with a double. But it's a home run now. That line brand new this year. It's my understanding that both the Padres and the Mariners had to agree to put the lineup there, and there was no problem with that.
I think not.
I was trying to think of players that have hit it over that green monster, and the last one that I can remember was Jay Buhner. Hit one up over the top where those flags are, but
that is killing a pitch there. 2-0 to Kemp, who struck out at a 2-2 pitch. Taijuan Walker got him. We're talking about expectations for the Mariners. It's a foul ball. Mr. Kemp, Matt Kemp's going to be wearing a lot of expectations on his shoulders.
Ian Upton in the middle of the lineup for the Padres. A lot of changes. It'll be interesting to see how all of that comes together. They're lucky that they have Bud Black there. Bud's been around for a long time, and he's going to manage all of these guys. But you wonder sometimes when you make all the amount of moves that they had. And you mentioned they needed to do that. Offensively, they really struggled last year. But it'll be curious to see how quick a start they have. They have good pitching. They've always had that. But their offense has been a struggle.
2-1 from Gaviglio. Hit to Taylor. Throws to Montero for out number 2. We have Justin Upton flied out to right.
Well, the Mariner players are happy that this day is here. They've been down here for a few weeks, and you get tired of facing your own pitchers every day in batting practice. They were supposed to have an inter-squad game on Monday, but it was rained out. I'm just happy to be playing baseball.
This really gets the routine going now.
Yeah, for everybody, including the coaching, and trying to get everything worked out and get these innings under the belt. This ball's foul, but get the innings under the belt of the pitchers and get them moving in the right direction. And that's probably the hardest part, I think, for Rick Waits and the guys to get all the pitchers the amount of work that they need. They have 60 players in camp right now, 60. And you have to get them all some work, and it's starting today.
Nice pitch. 0-2. Gaviglio strikes out Upton. 2 Ks for him in his 2 innings of work. Bottom of the 4th coming up, in the Mariners lead 1-0.
Sports. You can join Mariners Care in taking a stand against domestic violence. Participate in the Refuse to Abuse 5K run on Saturday, July 18th at Safeco Field. To learn more about walking, running, or volunteering, visit refusetoabuse5k.org. With a nice shot from the DirecTV blimp, you see the San Diego side on the left. Above that, the Mariners side, the shared complex. The big one right there on the right where the game taking place. Mariners Pods, new inning, and I'm guessing, gentlemen, a new pitcher for the Mariners.
lead, and right now the Padres are working their youngsters, and they have 29 pitchers in camp for them. Well, that's
you saw all those fields. We see them in the mornings. They have players all over the place out there, guys working, the minor leaguers, and some of these guys will actually go down and pitch in some B games on those fields, or even pitch against some of the youngsters to get their innings in.
Justin Hancock takes over right now. Julio Morbone will lead off, followed by John Hicks and Tel Marte. Morbone popped out to short first time. Slicing fly ball, left field, a little bit of carry to it. And Fighting Sun out there is up and makes a catch. Brings up John Hicks.
John with a base hit his first time up. Organization really likes his defense.
Young man out of Richmond, Virginia. 296, 3 homers, and 27 runs batted in 53 games at AA Jackson last year.
We got a chance to see him in spring training last year, and he looks as if he hit the weight room. He's a little bit stronger this year. I believe that'll help him on the offensive side of things.
John also played at AAA Tacoma, hit 277, 28 games, 2 homers and 20 runs batted in. So if you're looking for Cruz and Cano and that crew, they're going to be in tomorrow's game. We'll have that for you here in Root Sports. Breaking ball hit foul. Left center field, Upton has it covered. And that'll bring up Ketel Marte.
And you see Upton out in left field just kind of shaking his head a little bit. Couple fly balls out there and having to, you can see he has the glasses. They're dark glasses too, and still having to use his glove to shade his eyes.
Welcome to Arizona.
That's right. You'll see that throughout spring training.
Like if you're going out in the afternoon, I mean, how do you prepare for something like that?
You can't. They work on it some, and we saw Andy Van Slyke working on that a lot in the mornings with the guys, just making sure that they're able to shield their eyes with their glove and try to get a different angle so that you have the best view you can. But sometimes there's nothing that you can do. It's embarrassing when the ball hits, but if you can't see it, you're not going to catch it. And
exactly right.
Sometimes that's what's going to happen, especially down here.
2-1.
I think the other part about it, too, for the outfielders, I think they get fooled a little bit at times with the amount of carry. Today's a nice day. It's probably 67, 70 degrees out with the breeze. But once it gets up into the 80s, the ball stays in the air for a long time.
Good news on your weather forecast. We're making a turn toward the mid-80s next week.
Yeah.
Mariners lead 1-0. First inning home run by DJ Peterson. The wind blowing hard left to right. He hit a screaming line drive over the 385 sign in left center field. Marte, pretty good wheels. Good dig. Back in by Alonso. On the throw from Clint Farmer. Swell peak on the right. Look at some of the great scenery down here in Arizona. 1-0 Mariners.
Down the valley, Glendale, site of the Super Bowl, which, well, we just won't get into right now, will we, Seahawks fans? Well, we sure hope you're enjoying today's presentation of Mariners baseball on Root Sports. Tell us where you're watching and tweet us your picks at #WhereIRoot. Here are some examples. We've got a beard hat. I love that. Lots of selfies. We had a little kid in a very cute pink Mariners sweatsuit. Keep them coming in all game long. Again, your chance to be on our air today like these guys. And if we go back to Dave and Mike, I was ahead of myself by a half inning. Now I know there's a new Mariners pitcher this time, guys.
Hey, it's a
First
spring
game of the
training.
season.
Come on. Yeah, nice
First game.
and easy. You know, I mentioned to Mike off air. I said, hey, I'm trying to get through the first one, too. Hey.
Yeah, that's right.
Good to be back on here. You're number 9, my man. Where'd it go?
I know. How about that?
Where did it go?
It's just great to be excited about baseball and watching these guys. David Rollins taking over for the Mariners, the left-hander.
Rule 5 guy picked up from Houston. Fly ball. More ball near the line. 1 out.
More changes to the ballpark here. A lot of renovations, and they're going to have more. They said that they're not finished with them yet.
They have to. They can get attendance up to 15,000. 12 and change now, but they can accommodate 15.
A seating area, have some lunch, watch a baseball game. Pretty good.
Popped up. Montero calling off the kick. Oh! Called, I got it. Hicks backed off.
Well, down here, one of the mistakes that you can make is to take your eye off of it. And I was watching Jesus. He was coming over. It looked like he was in good shape, but then he looked to see where the catcher was when he was calling him off. And when he looked back up, he couldn't find it and overran it.
One to Jed Jerko.
They're always taught the ball is in the air, run to a spot, and then pick it up and catch it again. But that doesn't always work down here in Arizona. Tough to pick it back up when you look right up into the sun.
Falling 2 strikes. Rick Waite's pitching coach. Very impressed by this young man. Rule 5 pickup.
I hadn't seen him pitch. I was watching him warm up, and fastball jumps out of his hand. Looks like he has some good life to his fastball.
3-4 with a save, a 3.81 ERA, 27 games, 12 starts with AA Corpus Christi last season. 2-3 as a starter, 3.47 ERA. He doesn't make the team. He's got to go back to Houston. There's Rick Waits. I asked him the other day, something my wife mentioned. Is he related to the great singer Tom Waits? And he said, I met Tom Waits. We went through the family tree. We're not related, but we had a good time together. And Rick's a good singer himself. So he's a lot of work at his church, and also sang Handel's, was involved in singing Handel's Messiah during the off season. Good coaching staff.
It was funny this morning when I was talking to Rick, and he was telling me that when he was coming up through the minor leagues, he was always the 5th starter on whatever minor league team that he was on, and he said they typically had good minor league teams. And he said he finally gets to the big leagues. He's the #1 starter for a really bad Cleveland Indians club, and we laughed about that for a while. I think he said he had opening day starts. I think it was 3, maybe 4 years that Rick Waits was the opening day starter.
2-2. Right over our heads. And that thing was coming back here. That's another adjustment we got to make now to baseball, so you have to stay alive here. None of that Rick Riz hero stuff going for foul balls. We're not doing that.
You have room to cover up. You're okay.
Don't you know it? This will back up Romero. 2 away. 2 innings of solid work turned in by Taijuan Walker. 2 strikeouts and gave up 1 hit. Taijuan joins us right now. How'd you feel about your performance, the first one of the spring? Let's get it going, huh?
Yeah, it was good. I felt really good, real confident, real strong out there. It was good to get the first one out of the way, definitely, though.
First outing, was there anything in particular you were working on today, Taijuan? You looked like you had a pretty good changeup going for you today.
Yeah, I mean, first game, I tried to treat it like game mode, so I wasn't really working on anything. I was out there throwing everything and just attacking.
Tell me about that game. You and I talk about all the time, that last performance you had in Toronto. What did that mean to you, and how does that set you up for this season?
It was great. I felt confident after that game. Definitely a little disappointed. Getting the loss. Giving up that walk and that potential run too. So that part was tough. But going into the offseason with that start, definitely helped my confidence coming in the spring.
Was there anything different that you did this offseason as far as getting ready to go?
I just monitored my upper body workouts, made sure I did a lot of legs, core, and back. And, I kind of got a head start in my bullpens and everything just to make sure I was ready.
Well, you got to be very excited. I know we are to be here and to see you guys. What, if you will, the temperature of the team, given, the additions and everything, what's it like from your viewpoint?
Oh, it's great. The energy, just the first day I walked in, pitchers and catchers reported the energy that everyone had was just unbelievable. And then we had the whole squad out there, for the first day. And you could just tell everyone was ready and excited to get the season going.
Have you had any conversations with Lloyd once you came here to spring training on what his expectations for you are?
No, nothing. I think he just wants to sit back and just let us go out there and pitch.
Taijuan, really enjoyed seeing you, and I know you had to feel good about this one. Thanks, man, and we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Taijuan Walker joining us.
Good first outing for him.
Yes, it was. It was a base hit. Gave to Solarte. This is Clint Barmas. Another opportunity for Montero. Yields to the second baseman, Marte, and that will do it. Bottom of your screen, the Mariners clubhouse. See all the fields, a lot of acreage to work with here. Beautiful setting here in Arizona, 1-0 Seattle. Jim Mudcat Grant and Meadowlark Lemon of the Harlem Globetrotters on the right. And you can see just the top of a picture. You got that picture of Mr. Grant down there. The one right behind him, he was a rookie back in the 50s. And in that picture, the great Larry Doby and the great Satchel Paige. Of course, Meadowlark Lemon, tell you what, helped revolutionize basketball entertainment with the Harlem Globetrotters for seemingly 2 or 3 generations. I had a chance to get to meet Mr. Grant, about 12 years ago, MLB.com, and we sat in. He told all these great stories from his rookie year at Cleveland in '58, the '65 season where he went 21-7. And how about this, Mike? They don't do it like this anymore. He had 6 shutouts, 14 complete games, pitched 270 in the 3rd innings. That's unbelievable. 200. You don't do that anymore.
There you go. Take a look at him.
Yeah, with the Twins at 65 and with the Tribe. And there's the picture with Satchel and Larry Doby. And, of course, Meadowlark Lemon, the clown prince of basketball. Very talented man and, boy, entertained all over the world.
First day of spring training, you never know who you're going to see at the ballpark.
That's right. Fergie Jenkins is in the ballpark, too. He's with them signing down there. The great Hall of Famer. There's Jones. Trying to bun his way on. Leading off here in the home fifth. Jones, Taylor, and Peterson. Jonesy today 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and pop to first. Mr. Ron Fairley's on premises. We hope to speak to him at some point. He is very much involved in that 65 World Series. Went to 7. Jim Cott battling Sandy Koufax. Koufax winning game 7 up at Metropolitan Stadium in Minneapolis. Off the glove of the shortstop in left field, so James Jones is aboard.
Probably give him a hit. Had a chance to talk to Ron Fairley earlier today. In case you were wondering, he says that he can shoot his age out on the golf course
regularly.
Yeah. Good to see him.
And Jonesy a base hit. Yeah, Ron looks really good. I saw him in the hallway, and I just said, "Hey, number 6!" Stopped me right in his tracks.
He looks great. Yeah.
And now the changing begins. Michael, welcome to spring training. Jones may have tweaked his ankle just a little bit, so Lloyd McClendon and company not going to take any chances.
Always nice to pick up a base hit in the first game. 1 for 3 for James.
DJ Peterson. Barmas, they'll get 2 out of this. Actually, it's Chris Taylor taking part. Now we'll get to DJ Peterson. 1-1 pitch, first inning, nobody on. And he gets to it.
Fastball up, out, over the plate. Hits a line drive. That's 385 mark. He's able to clear that even though it looked like the wind was trying to knock it down. Strong enough to hit it out of the ballpark. And that's all the scoring in this one. DJ Peterson. I think we're going to see a lot of him in the spring. I think Lloyd's going to take a long look at DJ Peterson.
Nice to have options. Second baseman backing up Jerko. Short right field makes the play, and that'll do it for the Mariners. 5 in the books, 1-0. Seattle on a very breezy but pleasant day here in Peoria.
The sixth inning, Mariners still lead the Padres. First game of the spring, 1-0. Time for our CenturyLink. Link to what's next. Mariners baseball returns tomorrow when the Padres and Mariners meet up again in Peoria. Yes, the natural rivals back at it. Our coverage starts at noon, 1 p.m. Mountain. Rowanus Elias scheduled to start for Seattle. Of course, he battling Taijuan Walker for that 5th spot. And Bill Kruger, we've heard you talk about Taijuan. His outing, nice 2 innings today. How about the rest of the game? What have you liked outside of Taijuan Walker today?
Well, you couldn't miss the long home run by DJ Peterson in the first inning. Boy, short swing, compact, hit that monster line drive out to left center. You know, someone with that kind of numbers in the minor leagues, you're excited to see him do something. Gavillo in relief, 2 innings, sinker-slider combo guy, threw the ball good from Oregon State, came over from St. Louis. I liked him a lot. And Jesus Montero, the slimmed-down version, a couple of hits and kind of a mixed bag, the misplayed pop-up, but high sky in Arizona.
And Gavillo doing the job. Nice shout out to the Beavers.
Yes.
We've got a new pitcher, another righty trying to make that deep, very talented bullpen. It's Carson Smith. We go back to Dave and Mike. There's the big guy.
All right, fellas, a lot of changes. Carson Smith, boy, he was outstanding in his call-up in September. Right-handers, that's not a run in the park.
Oh, a little uncomfortable the way he throws from the side, drops down a little bit, and he'll rush it up there at 95 miles an hour. A couple of departures from the bullpen, and I think he has a real good chance to be on this club.
He's a starter at college. He was very impressive last year, going right after people. Didn't show any fear. Had good stuff with
Through strikes,
inside.
had a good slider. I think that he has a real opportunity to head north with the club at the end of spring.
Julio Morbon stays in right. Austin Casino's in center. Jordy Lara is in left. Tyler Smith at short. Patrick Kivlahan at third. Ji-Man Choi is at first. New catcher's Mike Dowd.
Well, because of his delivery, he's going to get some run to his fastball, and right now he's having a tough time finding the strike zone, but you can take a look at him.
Sean O'Malley, he's taking over at second. 3-0 count here. Back to the top of the order, Cameron Maben. Pinch running at first base. Former Mariner Ibrahim Almonte. Maben 1 for 2 with a stolen base today. He's down the butt, goes foul.
We came to spring training last year. DJ Peterson was the guy that I really wanted to see. And you mentioned Kivlahan over at third. We heard a lot of good things about him. And it'll be interesting to watch him get a chance to swing it a couple of times here this afternoon.
He's out of Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Played most of his work for Freddie Hill at third base, but he can play first and he can play both corner outfield spots.
Well, maybe we'll see a little bit more of him in the outfield. Kyle Seager isn't going anywhere for a long time.
No. Big contract extension, all-star, Gold Glover.
Great year.
He is a keeper.
Yep.
We talk about it all the time, particularly at the back end of the last season. Everywhere we went, I like your third baseman. Funny thing about that, so do we.
Productive first 3 years for Kyle.
I'll say.
Improving every year.
Two balls, one strike. So 3-1 now to Maben. We're told that the line for single game tickets has started to form on Dave Niehaus Way outside Safeco Field as Almonte breaks. And there's ball 4 to Maben. And with the Mariners' 10-game flex pack, you'll not only get 10 chances to see Felix Robinson and the Mariners in 2015, but you'll also enjoy savings of over single game ticket prices. What's more, you can guarantee yourself a seat to opening day before tickets go on sale to the public this Saturday. Packs start at $120 and available right now for a limited time. Only at mariners.com/flex.
After a couple of walks, Rick Waits out of the dugout. Make a quick trip to Carson Smith, try to get him in the strike zone.
Under Alonso, the hitter. And he looks to strike.
He didn't like it. The home plate umpire helping out Carson Smith a little bit.
How you feeling about the new rules? Keep that foot in the box.
I like them. I think it'll be interesting to see if they continue to enforce them, make the guys keep the foot on the box, get the pitchers up on the mound ready to go.
It's interesting to battle back and forth. David Ortiz in Boston saying, hey, let's put an ATM at the back of the plate here.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, they will get fined by the umpires by not following the rules.
A lot of hitters that said, come on, it's about the pitchers too. You can't have these guys walking around the mound when they can't figure out what they want to pitch or if they're going to pitch it.
Or if they're struggling throwing strikes, that's typically when they take more time. It's a good breaking ball from Smith.
2 on, 1 out.
Take a look at this last pitch after struggling to throw strikes to the first 2 batters. Rick Waits make a quick trip, and he gets his first strikeout.
Here's Matt Kemp for the 3rd time, a strikeout and a ground out today. Some movement on that strike. Chance for 2. And a nice turn. Kyler Smith, O'Malley over to Montero for the double play that ends the San Diego 6. Mariners lead 1-0 in a DJ Peterson home run back in the 1st inning.
College hoops returns tonight on Root Sports with an important game for Boise State. The Broncos face San Jose State at 8 p.m. Mountain, 7 Pacific. Boise State is currently tied for the lead in the Mountain West Conference after winning at San Diego State. I don't know how they did that over the weekend. Shot there at Luke Air Force Base. Great shot from our direct TV blimp. Zoom on out the valley there. Nice day, no doubt, down in Peoria. We get you back to the stadium. And Dave and Mike, more baseball.
Absolutely. Thank you, Brad. Leonel Campos takes over on the mound for the San Diego Padres. Mariners lead 1-0, bottom of the 6th. Good looking day here. Greater Phoenix area. We're in Peoria, northwest suburb of Phoenix, Arizona. There's the 101, US 101, and then to Peoria. That's where we are, the Peoria Sports Complex. Ji-Man Choi is going to lead it off. About back. Ji-Man Choi, 283 hitter at Tacoma last year. 5 homers and 30 runs batted in. And it did hit him. Choi had graduated from the AA Jackson Generals, where he hit 273 with homer and 5 runs batted in. Hey, buy tickets and save when you purchase single game tickets at a Mariners team store this weekend. You're going to receive 20% off all regular price merchandise. So gear up with tickets and great Mariners apparel when you pick up tickets this Saturday and Sunday at any of the 5 Mariner team store locations. Jordy Lara gets into one, deep left center field, run down out there by Upton.
It's great to see these young guys in the game. They go up there swinging, don't they?
Don't cheat yourself.
I like the fact that they're aggressive. Try to impress, and this ball is hit pretty well out in the left center field. Good job by Upton to run it down.
There's Patrick Kivlahan. He's now at third base for the Mariners. Tim Fedorowicz, new catcher here for San Diego. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Only run of the ball game. Home run by DJ Peterson back in the first inning on a 1-1 pitch with 2 outs. He was batting in the 3-hole. Two and 1. Inside on Kivlahan. Kivlahan, a 300 hitter in 104 games at Jackson. 11 homers, 68 runs batted in.
A pretty good winner too down here in the fall league. Swinging the bat well. sure we get a chance to see quite a bit of him over the course of the spring. Nice soft stride. He tried to overswing it all, even though he had the count in his favor. That was the thing that was impressive about Peterson last year, is just his discipline at the plate for a young player. Typically early on they'll be a little bit jumpy, over anxious, but
3-2, runner goes, fouled off. It'll be a heck of a race in the American League West. Angels 190 plus, had the most wins in baseball last year. Knocked off the playoffs. Mariners just missed the playoffs. Runner goes again. It's 3-2 pitch hit the other way. Base hit. G-Man Choi will get to third to Patrick Kivelhan with a base hit. Mariners with one out have runners at the corners. Aerial coverage provided by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
The other part that'll be interesting with the West is going to be the Rangers. They look like they're healthy. See what happens with them. They had a lot of injuries last year, especially to the starting pitching staff. Prince Fielder was out most of the year.
They've lost Jurickson Purefart for the season again with a shoulder. That was about 3-4 weeks ago that happened. It's terrible news for them. Leo Morban popped a short and a fly to left. Runners at the corners, one out for the Mariners. Bond looks at a strike.
You've been able to figure out what Billy Beane is doing there in Oakland and what the plan is?
And I gave that up a while ago. I'm still flabbergasted. I mean, Donaldson out of here. Derek Norris gone.
Yeah, he's here with these Padres
right
now.
And Brandon, who's the guy that
Moss?
Moss is gone. Man, that was what a year they had. I mean, they were running away from the pack, and then Angels ran them down, and Mariners almost ran them down.
I think he's just really going to lean on his pitching again and see where they're at a couple months into it, and then probably make some moves.
He did go and bring veteran Barry Zito back. See if he's got anything left.
I think Houston has gotten a little bit better.
Darn right,
tougher matchup. Yeah,
they got some. Their bullpen killed them last year. Bring in a couple of guys. Who is it? They bring in Neshek and they bring in Luke Gregerson.
A couple more veterans in their lineup too.
They've given the Mariners plenty of problems.
True. Good point.
With the young kids the last 2 years.
Good point.
Including Altuve, maybe the best hitter in baseball.
He's something.
Special player.
Yeah, the damage that he did, it wasn't just against the Mariners. It was against everybody.
This is Mike Dowd. Took over as catcher. John Hicks. Got a kick out of seeing some things on MLB.com. Joe Madden, one of our favorite guys, living out of his RV over at Cubs camp. He's a beauty. Did you love his news conference? Hey, barkeep, I got this. Remember that?
I do. When they're talking about the Mariners, I think the Cubs, they have some expectations now, too.
Yeah.
Madden being one of the reasons why.
John Lester leading their rotation.
Yeah.
And then crosstown, the White Sox have done some good things. It's a shame about Chris Sale moving stuff out of the parking lot into the clubhouse, hurts his foot. So they say, and that makes some Marjo over. Nice improvement there. Up the middle. And he beats it out. Another run scores. 2-0 Mariners. It was hit slowly enough. Mike Dowd picking up an RBI.
Looks like it jams him a little bit. It's more off the end of the bat. Hitting the right location. The shortstop was playing over towards the hole, and good hustle. Pick up a base hit and an RBI.
Here's Sean O'Malley, switch hitter. He's at second base. Just joining us, the regulars. You'll see Cano and Cruz and company. See them tomorrow. O'Malley behind 0-2. Breaking ball gets it. Mariners do pick up a run on the RBI. Single by Mike Dowd. Thanks for all the great tweets and photos during today's Mariners game here on Root Sports. Keep them coming. Tweet us at #WhereIRoot. Peterson's hitting up on the berm and out of here. 2-0 Mariners. Good to have you with us. Our first telecast of the 2015 spring season. Dave Sims, Mike Blowers, and the Root Sports crew. Good to be back. Baseball, baby, baseball. Folks enjoying it here in Peoria up on the berm. I mean, does it get any better than this guy? Look at that.
I don't think
He's got
so.
a cold one sitting back in the sun on the berm. Come on. That's a recipe
and it looks
there.
Like every day it's going to get a little bit warmer again.
Yeah.
Probably pushing 70 today, but by the end of the weekend, I think we're going to be in the 80s.
Yeah, and I don't think we'll have that. We had a stiff breeze. I'm thinking it's got to be about a 10-15 mile an hour breeze here today as we look at Peoria Stadium. Significant additions made to this complex at Peoria Sports Complex. Folks here in Peoria quite proud of it. New pitcher is Forrest Snow. We saw him once or twice here last year.
A couple times,
spring.
yeah. Typical of spring training, especially for the pitchers. A lot of them, the younger pitchers, will throw quite a bit early on.
First hitter for Mr. Snow is Justin Upton. Fly to right and strikeout. Snow's a big guy, 6'6", 220. Turned 26 back on December 30th. Here's a fly ball straight away center field. It is hit well. It is gone. That's a poke.
We talked about the yellow line in center field. They just put it in this year for the first time, and Justin Upton, the first one to hit it over the yellow line for a home run. In years past, it was just a good ride. In years past, this would have probably been a double. But now with the yellow line, they called for a home run right away. They're by the camera well.
Brings up Carlos Quentin. Two-1 ball game. Quentin today 0 for 2, ground out, fly out. Kivlahan gets a chance. Goes over to Juma Chua. One away here in the 7th. Patrick Kivlahan taking over at third for Carlos Rivero, who got to start. The regulars, Seager and company, Cano. First look at Nelson Cruz in a Marino uniform will come tomorrow. We'll have that telecast for you. Breaking ball to Jed Jerko. Or Snow 2-3 with a 4.05 ERA, 16 games last year with the Rainiers down in Tacoma. Snow moving up from Jackson, Double-A Jackson, where he went 1-1 at the 3.86 ERA in 4 games.
So far, he's using all of his pitches. Looks like he has good command of the strike zone. I think that was a breaking ball that Upton hit out to center field.
Great call.
Well located fastball.
So 2 away with the run in on the home run by Upton. Fans, tweet us your questions to #AskRoot all spring and throughout the regular season.
There's another look at the yellow line. Again, a new addition here in Peoria.
We're back at you at noon Pacific time from Peoria against these Padres tomorrow. Solarte really fooled on that pitch. 1-1. 1 for 2 day for him. Fly to left, single to right, 5th. Back with another strike, 1-2. Jumped on that pitch. Bone not going to get it. One hop off the fence. He's going to motor for 3. Here's the throw. It is in time. Got him. Great relay executed by the Mariners. Morbone to O'Malley to Kivlahan at third to nail Solarte to end the inning. It's a 2-1 Mariner lead.
What are you going to do with your tax return?
combination here, and the Mariners do it quite well. Morbone with the relay to O'Malley. O'Malley throws to Kivlahan. They get Hervis Solarte, who was bidding for a 2-out triple. This is really well done here.
It's one of the many things that they've worked on over the last couple of weeks since they've been down in spring training. Good play by Kivlahan to dive back to the back corner of the bag and get him, but well-executed relay. That will make Lloyd happy. They go through their cutoffs and relays almost on a daily basis.
Yeah. 2-1 lead for the Mariners. DJ Peterson with a home run in the first, infield RBI single by Mike Dowd in the 6th inning. And again, we'll be with you tomorrow noon Pacific time. Another telecast of Mariners spring baseball, and look for the starters to be on the field in the early going tomorrow, and looking forward to that. Nelson Cruz's first appearance spring game for the Mariners. See the All-Stars, Robinson Cano and Kyle Seager. Looking forward to seeing what newly acquired Ricky Weeks, what he might be bringing to the table right now. According to what Lloyd McClendon's talking about, sounds like a platoon out there in left with Mr. Ackley. He's not officially calling it a platoon, but that's essentially what it's going to be.
I think he's going to get a chance to give Logan Morrison a break at first from time to time, too. Obviously, Ricky has been a second baseman, but good athlete.
Outfielder at Southern University in Baton Rouge in his college days. Austin Cousineau. Cousineau fouls it back. Came in for James Jones. Two and two.
Good crowd here today for the first game.
Frank Garces on the mound for San Diego.
Saw quite a few people on the minor league fields today too, walking around. It's great down here. You can get as close to these players as you're ever going to.
Swing and a miss. One down here in the 7th. Spring training is here, which means the 2015 season is just around the corner. There's no better time to join the club than with a new 20-game plan. Choose from 4 pre-selected plans, or pick the games you want that you want to see in a Flex 20-game plan. For more info, visit mariners.com/tickets. Line drive sinking for base hit. That's off the bat of Tyler Smith. Oregon State Beavers well represented here today. There's DJ Peterson again. Home run, a couple pop-ups. DHing today.
Last call be here. Oh, did you say last call? Yeah, last call, yeah. I'm no joke, as soon as I start the 8th, we out. You want to stand because I have one for you if you want. Yes, sir, do you have a light?
Runner will hold.
Talking about the wind earlier, Dave, and it looking at the flags, it's really picked up again. DJ Peterson gets something in the air. He has a chance to hit another home run. DJ with a line drive home run out to left center his first time up.
Back at you tomorrow at noon Pacific time. Roland Salia is scheduled to get the start.
I will go to your church. Yeah, don't mess with me.
His hitting style remind you of anybody?
That's a good question. I mean, you could even see on that last swing just how short he was to the ball. Most big guys have a longer swing. He really doesn't. It's pretty short.
I'll tell you who reminds me of Bob Horner a little bit. Not quite as big, but Horner when he was going well. Remember Bob Horner?
I do, of course, with Atlanta.
Atlanta,
yeah.
And where did I see him in college? Arizona.
Arizona State.
Yeah. Arizona State with Hubie Brooks.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. Kind of had his hands a little bit lower than what DJ does, but
right?
Yeah.
But he was, but again, for
Strong
big guys, short,
yeah.
right.
And a lot of power.
Ooh, I'll say. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. 2 away. Bob Horner hits big home run years, 218 home runs in 10 years. Went for 33 and 35, years 2 and 3. Ji-Man Choi hit by a pitch, scored a run. That was in the 6th. Tuno. Two outs and a 2-0 pitch here to Choi. Good catch up. 2-1.
Always thought it was a little bit tougher in spring training, especially early in spring training. You have a pitcher that's dropping down on you a little bit. You don't see a lot of that as a lefty anyway. Stay in there. That last fastball in the outside corner looked like he pulled off of it a little bit.
Runner goes. Throw down to second. Gets through. Tyler Smith with the stolen base.
It's a pretty good jump. Not able to get much on the throw. It'll bounce down into second base and get past Pena. At first dive. Gets himself into scoring position. Good time to run. Get yourself into scoring position with a couple of outs.
2-2 count to Choi. Couldn't get him to offer it the breaking ball. A full count. Swing and a miss. Choi's gone. So the Mariners in the 7th. 2-1 Seattle lead.
Mariners still clinging to that one-run lead. We, of course, have the same two teams in action tomorrow. On the mound, Roenis Elias making his debut last year. April in Oakland, won 10 games as a starter in 29 starts. Career high 168 2/3 innings as a pro. He was fantastic last season. The lefty had a 231 earned run average in 10 starts after the All-Star break. So we saw him a lot last year, Bill. And we know there's a lot to like about Roenis Elias. Excited to see him make his 2015 debut tomorrow.
Big surprise. Nobody knew a whole lot about Elias. Escaped Cuba on a raft, had only been as high as AA, and as you mentioned, won double-digit games. This guy, great curveball, electric arm, and an exciting competition is happening. Taijuan Walker volleys out with 2 scoreless, and now Elias is going to have to match.
Those guys going back and forth all spring for that 5th spot in the rotation. A new pitcher, lefty Rafael Perez, in for the Mariners. You see his numbers last year in Indianapolis. We'll get you back out to Dave and Mike, guys.
All right, Brett, thank you very much. Rafael Perez takes over. See what he brings to the table here. Mariners holding a 2-1 lead. Making his spring debut, non-roster invitee, 24 games, 16 starts at AAA Round Rock in the Texas organization. Also pitched in the Mexican League and also with the Buccos, the Pittsburgh Pirates. First pitch in there for strike.
And you can bet he's probably a little bit nervous. I think for the younger pitchers early in camp, they're not afforded what the veteran guys are, and that is you better come in and throw strikes right away. That's the first thing they're going to look for. And then can you get your breaking ball over and your changeup? Most of the veterans, they'll typically go out there and work on a certain pitch, and you already know what they can do. So a little more pressure on the younger pitchers.
Fouled back. Perez, 338 career games, all in relief. The Indians from 06 to 2012. Went 21-12. A record, 3.64 ERA with 3 saves. And he has not pitched in a major since 2012. Corey Spangenberg is the hitter. Two pitch. Pay it off right here. Hit hard, look out.
Perez wasn't able to locate that pitch, but I was impressed with that. He's going to throw a 3-2 breaking ball this early in camp. A lot of confidence in his slider. Just left it on the inner half, trying to throw it on the outside corner.
Mariners will play San Diego during the regular season. Padres will be in Seattle May 12 and 13. 2 night games on a Tuesday, Wednesday. Mariners will go to San Diego in late June. Live Mariners baseball. It's back in 2015 with MLB.com at bat. It's on your smartphone or tablet. Stay connected with live radio broadcast, stats, breaking news, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. Familiar face, Abraham Almonte, the former Mariner now. Runner goes. Swing on a miss. Throw down to second. Not in time. Stolen base. Corey Spangenberg.
And even though it's spring training, I'm sure Rick Waits will speak to Perez. You have a one-run lead. The one thing you can't afford to do is walk the leadoff batter, and that's the reason why it gets in a scoring position right away.
Swing and a miss. Monte behind 0-2. DJ Peterson a home run in the first, an RBI single by Mike Dowd in the sixth for the 2 runs for the Mariners. A home run by Justin Upton for San Diego. That led off the 7th. Looking at the schedule, Mariners will play the National League West. First road trip, the back end of it. After 3 games in Oakland, 3 games in LA. And who wouldn't want to see a Felix and matchup with Kershaw down there? How great would that be?
It'd be terrific.
Almonte fouls it into the glove of Dowd. Strikeout. One away, and then later on, the Mariners have a home-and-home with the San Francisco Giants, world champions. That'll be fun.
I think it's great that the Mariners are going to be able to open the season at home this year.
First time since what, about 08?
I think it was 08.
One out, one on. Big breaking ball up high. Tommy Medica, the hitter. Mariners have a home-and-home with the world champion Giants Monday, June 15, Tuesday the 16th. A day game, a night game, then a day game. And then come back right back to Seattle for 2 night games. Another team I'm interested in seeing, we'll see them in mid-May. The Boston Red Sox come to town for 4 games, Thursday through Sunday. They've added Hanley Ramirez and Kung Fu Panda. David Ortiz in the middle of that lineup. That's not bad. David Ortiz, wonder what they count, how much he'll be down for not keeping that 1 foot in the box.
He said he wasn't going to worry about it, and I believe him.
1-1. Breaking ball hit hard. Jordy Lauer charges. Here's the throw. Oh, it should be meat. Safe. He beat the tag. Looked like the throw was going to be there in time. Spangenberg scores to tie it up at 2-2.
I thought the throw was in time. It looked as if a little bit for Dowd, a little bit of a struggle to handle it, and he was late to good slide going to the back part of the plate. It looks like he gets the ball in plenty of time. Yeah, just a little bit slow with the tag. Just a little slow with the tag.
Ball was there. From our angle, you could see Laros coming right at us.
Right.
And that's why I thought for sure he had him. 2-2 ball game, top of the 8th. Alex Dickerson's the hitter. There's a catch made out in center field. Let's take it with Brett Adams.
Well, Dave, every Monday you can experience the greatest Mariners moments from last season with Mariners Mondays. Tune in this week at 10 p.m. Pacific as the King takes on some of the best. For your local programming schedule, visit rootsports.com. Every year we do that show, guys, and it seems like Felix Hernandez is featured in several of our Mariners Mondays, with good reason.
As well he should. I was talking to Mike Zunino. I said, how ticked off were you? And our guy didn't get the Cy Young Award, and he said he was on a cruise and having some fun there, and a couple of guys came up and they started grousing and everything. He said, what's wrong with you? He says, Glover won the Cy Young. Mike said he cashed out, went back, hung out with the fellas and drowned his sorrows for a couple of minutes.
Well, he wasn't alone. I'm sure the entire team, with everything that Felix means to this club and as well liked as he is, I'm sure a bunch of the guys were disappointed.
That's hit a ton down the line, going foul. Stone from the Seattle Times is telling me that they had the news conference set up at Safeco Field. I thought, with you, I didn't think it was an automatic, but I liked his chances. I gave big odds that he was going to, or small odds that he would lose the doggone thing, and they were ready for a news conference, and he had to get up there in front of everybody. That was tough.
I don't want to take anything away from
No,
Kluber.
no,
he had
not
an
at all.
outstanding year for the Indians, but I thought Felix was deserving of it.
I mean, that run he had to 16, 17 games. Come
historic. In history with
7 innings, 2 runs or fewer. I mean, come on. Up the middle. Friendly hop. It works out well for the Mariners. They get the final out of the 8th inning. Padres tied up an RBI single by Tommy Medic, a 2-2 ball game. Season, and as always, a pleasure to welcome in Bill Kruger back in our studios in Bellevue. What are your thoughts so far on what you've seen pitching wise to this point, Mr. K?
Well, we started with Taijuan Walker. He was brilliant for 2 innings, and I thought his motion, the tightening up of his delivery that they worked on last year was really evident. Pitched with confidence, showed he could bow his neck and get the 2 big sluggers out when he got in a jam in the 1st inning, and I thought he was great. And then the cast of relievers looked good too. Gaviglio pitched very well for 2 innings. The kid from Oregon State, sinker-slider combo, and we got a glimpse at some of the other guys. Carson Smith, a little bit of trouble with control early, but did a nice job of getting out of that particular jam. I think the club really likes him. We saw him at the end of the year last year, Dave, and I thought he looked like a guy that could be the next Jeff Nelson. And so I think for the most part you have to like what you've seen so far. Both teams didn't do a lot of scoring today, but we know as the temperature goes up, so will the run scoring.
And no doubt about it. And I heard you and Brett talking about Roenis Elias. Looking forward to seeing him. And I like your suggestion about him, but being maybe the long lefty in that bullpen.
Well, you never want to sell Elias short because he proved that he could start in the big leagues last year. He had some great moments. He's very talented. But if Walker pitches like we think he can, he certainly isn't a guy that can pitch in relief. And if he's ready to pitch in the big leagues, I'm going to guess that the Mariners would like him there. I think you could put a guy like Elias, keep him in the big leagues because he's very competitive, and maybe help him be a more aggressive pitcher by letting him pitch in the middle of games, particularly early in the season, where he might have a chance to pitch through the lineup, and you really get the value out of him. Joel Pinheiro early in his career did a lot of that for the Mariners, and it worked out really well. It kind of goes against Lloyd's formula of 1 inning per pitcher, but I think it's something where you keep Elias in the big leagues, you take advantage of his talent, and you get your second left-hander to boot.
High throw. It's in time. 1 out. Overall, on this bullpen, thinking about Joe Saunders, they brought him back to be a possibility as a lefty out of the pen with Joe Beimel not coming back.
Now, Saunders' numbers the last couple of years haven't been as good, but his numbers against left-handers are very good. He's done a lot of starting in his career. Very experienced guy. I would never sell that idea short. He could come to spring and get every left-hander out and really be a guy that fits well. We saw Rawlings today, and he threw the ball good, but he looks to me like he's a fastball changeup guy, really suited to get right-handers out. I'm not so sure he's got the breaking ball to be the left-hander out of the bullpen. That's just from first glance, right? Yeah. So Saunders is interesting. He's here. He's got a lot of experience, certainly a guy that has done some relieving in his career, whereas Elias, as we've mentioned, really hasn't. So, and there's other candidates. Lipke's here. He's going to get a chance as well. So very deep bullpen. Lots of guys fighting for jobs.
It is remarkable. I mean, you got Wilhelmsen out there. You got Charlie Furbush. He's established as a late lefty. They're both going to hang up and get cut. Kivlahan is retired. With Furbush, you got Dominic Leone down there. I mean, there's a lot of talent and big numbers. A lot of teams can't make a claim to that.
Well, if they're set on getting 2 in the bullpen from the left side, that leaves you 5 righties, right? Mm-hmm. So we can count those 5 righties pretty quickly. So there's going to be some real competition. And Carson Smith's going to be part of that. And so, of course, Farquhar and Wilhelmsen, Medina, Dominic Leone.
And you got Fernando Rodney.
Of course,
at the back
Fernando
end.
Rodney is anchoring that and had a terrific year last year. So it's good to have options. It's good to have depth of talent. Competition is always a great thing. Another interesting idea is you're asking for ideas like I suggested with Elias. Take a guy like Dominic Leone. Why not give him a chance to maybe extend him or stretch him out in spring training and maybe make him a pseudo starter? And as you look ahead to what might be the depth of this starting staff, if, for example, Elias makes the team, and we know that we've got the one kid that's out of options, he may not be available to pitch in Triple. So
the Rollins kid is a Rule 5. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
Rosmar Ramirez.
Yes. Yeah. So he may not be able to make it down to AAA. I'm just sort of saying that you could take a guy like Dominic Leone and start him and maybe extend him and see what his full complement would look like. It doesn't mean that he could never come back and be a reliever, because we know he did a fantastic job at that. Just another thought, and give you a guy that maybe you could pitch in spring training and keep, Iwakuma, Hernandez, some of your studs away from pitching against the A's and the Angels on the big field.
Yeah, that's a good thought. Well, a lot of options lay out in front of Lloyd McClendon and his staff, that's for sure. There's a base hit up the middle. And they're going to send the runner. The throw is offline, and the Mariners are back on top 3-2. Ian Miller scoring. Mike Dowd has driven in his second run of the ball game. The Mariners with a 3-2 lead. Mike Dowd, backup catcher. One of the youngsters coming up, getting the job done here.
Well, you get your chance to shine. You want to do something with it. There was a slider that backed up a little bit, but he kept his hands inside the ball, drove it right up the middle of the field. Nice piece of hitting.
Bring up Sean O'Malley playing at second base. Tel Marte started the game at second. Looking forward, Bill, to tomorrow to see Cano and Seager and Cruz and all the regulars out in the field. And I think one guy that the Mariners going to have some success, and I was giving him the business today. I said, let's see you play 100-plus games this season, talking about Logan Morrison.
Now, Morrison, I think, showed everybody that the player that that potentially he was on his way to becoming when he was over with Miami. So I think it'll be interesting to see him get a chance to play full-time, relax, and hit those line drives he did the second half of the year.
All right, Bill, when we come back, Mike Blauer's going to have an interview with Ron Fairley and Mudcat Grant, a couple of combatants in the 1965 World Series. Top of the ninth, Dominic Leone about to take over for the closing opportunity. And Mike, you're just back from talking with Mudcat Grant and Ron Fairley. We'll have that interview tomorrow. You had to have had a lot of fun with that one.
It was great, and I knew I just had the half inning. I stepped away for a half an inning to try to get that interview and get it taped for you. You folks at home will get a chance to see that tomorrow during the telecast of the game. But what a thrill. I tell you, talk about two guys that had a lot of fun, and it was interesting. I was wondering how it was going to go because, of course, Ron Fairley ended up hitting a couple of home runs off of Mudcat Grant in that World Series in the 65 series. Mudcat Grant won 2 of the games for the Twins, and Ron, of course, had a great series hitting 379. But I think people would love to. 50 years ago, 50 years, and they're both here at the ballpark in Peoria, and we had a chance to talk to them. So what a thrill for me to go down there and listen to them.
Nice.
I didn't have to do a whole lot. Just got to turn things over to them, but they were
Tee it up, baby.
Ron, and it's funny, too, because Ron, of course, was talking to him about how Mudcat tried to sneak a fastball by him, and Mudcat was laughing. He said, yeah, I just missed my location and gave you a cookie. You know, so it was a lot of fun. They were having a good time with us. Great to see him at the park.
I love talking to the old guys. Fergie Jenkins was down there earlier, Meadowlark Lemon, the great Harlem Globetrotter, and was asking... and there's Mudcat Grant, Jim Mudcat Grant, Cleveland and the Minnesota Twins. This one up the middle. There's a strong throw to get in. That's outstanding by Sean O'Malley. Nicely done. 1 out.
Showed some good range to get this ball. It was hit firmly back up the middle, and it went off his glove, but he stayed with it. And then the strong arm, of course. Always important late in a ball game when you have a 1-run lead to get that leadoff hitter out, and he makes a fine play.
That was nice.
That was nice.
One away here tonight.
But again, we'll have that interview and those gentlemen reliving the World Series in 65 for you tomorrow.
And Mudcat said that they're having obviously a big 50th anniversary celebration in Minnesota. That was a good team. Hyman Killebrew, Don Mintzer, Earl Batty, Zoilo Versailles, Jim Perry, Mudcat Grant in the rotation with Jim Cott. Who else? Rich Rollins, Don Mintzer was at first. Man, they get hit. Tony Oliva. Those cats could hit. 7 games that series went.
Dodgers weren't too bad either.
And they can pitch, man. They can really. Mr. Koufax, Mr. Drysdale, Claude Osteen. I believe Johnny Padres was still around in that club. You know,
Ron, I didn't realize it, but Ron was saying that Sandy came back. It was basically a day and a half rest that he came back to pitch the 7th game of that World Series.
I think that's the year he immortalized when he said he wasn't going to pitch that one day because it was Yom Kippur, the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. That's when Drysdale got rocked and told the skipper Walter Olson, I said, I guess right now, you wish I was Jewish. Two and two. Dominic Leone now makes his home in suburban Charleston, South Carolina. They said his family gave him what for. He's a Connecticut kid, and his family was really giving him the business during this last couple of months with all the snow and the cold weather up in the Northeast. Working on fastball command. That was the thing he said he wanted to work on. He came into camp.
Well, you think about spring training last year, he was impressive and ended up getting called up to the club. Didn't make the team right away, but ended up getting called up, and what a huge part of the bullpen he turned out to be. Seems every year somebody emerges that you don't expect to.
A 1-out walk here in the 9th. Mero Pena going to take swings here. Three-2 Mariner lead. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Backed up nicely as that thing really tailed. O'Malley to back up.
A couple of walks late in the game for the Mariners. It's not like them. They typically throw strikes. Best bullpen in the American League last year. It was a walk, a leadoff walk in the 8th inning, and a stolen base eventually scored to tie the game up. Mariners, of course, taking the lead in the bottom of the 8th inning, but now the Padres with a runner in scoring position on a walk and a stolen base.
1-1. Mariners have banged out 11 hits today. 3 runs, 11 hits. No errors. 2 runs, 5 hits, and an error for San Diego. Back with the strike, 1 and 2. Broken bat ground ball. Choi will take it. 2 outs. Taylor Lindsay. See Roenis Elias tomorrow. He'll start for the Mariners. He's the scheduled starter. Rosmal Ramirez scheduled for Friday at the Dodgers at 1:05. We'll be on TV tomorrow, 12 noon Pacific time. Andrew Kashner is scheduled to start for San Diego. 3:30 Pacific and 9 o'clock tonight. For those of you tuning in late, we'll have a full re-air of this contest here on Root Sports. Put it in play. Shortstop's there. Smith throws high. And Choi's hurt right leg. As the score is tied now at 3-3. Boy, as he went up in the air and the runner got a piece of him.
Not sure that Smith had not sure that he had control of the ball and just tried to let it go and almost airmailed it. It's a good play by Choi to keep it on the infield, but hopefully it's not too costly.
Boy, I hate to see anybody get injured anytime, but especially here in spring training. We'll take a break and come back. Ji-Man Choi injured on that last play. 3-3 ball game, top of the ninth here in Peoria.
No finish on it with the left hand, but he gets it right back again. Oh my, Derek Favors just a monster out there tonight. Is it
overhead view of the Peoria Sports Complex from our DirecTV blimp. Mariners officials, trainers still tending to Ji-Man Choi there at first base. They're carting him off right now. What looked to be maybe the possible last out of the game. Padres able to tie it up 3-3. Let's go back early in this game, first inning early, and show you how the Mariners get on the board. How about this swing from DJ Peterson?
Short and powerful. We knew this guy had a lot of juice. 31 home runs last year. He came right out to introduce himself again with the long home run in the first inning off of Jason Lane.
They got the Mariners going. Padres able to tie it up. Mariners take the lead. Now the Padres just tied things up in the top of the ninth inning. Again, Ji-Man Choi, the first baseman, taken off the field. Dominic Leone back warming up on the mound for the Mariners. We go back there and rejoin Dave Sims and Mike Flowers. Never, ever want to see that, guys, especially in a spring training game.
Here, here. That is for sure. All right, Brett, thank you very much. Alex Dickerson, the hitter. Go ahead and run it first for San Diego. 3-3 ball game. Top of the ninth. Runner takes off. Dowd's throw. Late. Stolen base.
So this Bud Black is being aggressive here late in the game. It's third stolen base in the last 2 innings. These young guys in there letting them run.
Moves from third to first. And DJ Peterson's at third base. No more DH. throw safe. Throw to the plate. Got him. Tough go here for Tyler Smith at shortstop. They don't get the out at first, but they get the runner trying to score. And Lindsay, he's thrown out at the plate. 3-3 ball game as we go to the bottom of the ninth. Here in Peoria, Arizona, as the Padres have scored a run in each of the last 3 innings. Mariners with the chance to win it here in the desert. Good to have you at the Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, Root Sports Crew. First telecast, first game, the 2015 spring season. Yep, a lot of critters. You're going to find all kinds of critters here in the desert. As long as they don't come knocking at the door for dinner time, you're good.
After a little bit of rain, just enjoying the sun now.
Well, the Mariners, who kept all their regulars and all their stars, keep them at bay until tomorrow at noon when we come to you noon Pacific time with our second telecast. A lot of the youngsters in the game right now and have been for the entire contest. Chris Rierick is the new pitcher, left-hander. Austin Cousineau is going to lead it off here for the Mariners. We believe this could be the last half inning. Both bullpens are depleted. I know, since taxing your organization on day one.
On the first day. Yeah.
Come on.
No, not unusual here in spring training.
Phillies were up 5-2. In a game yesterday in the 9th inning. I happened to catch it. The Yankees hit a 3-run homer. They couldn't do anything after that, and that was it. Shut it down. See you later. Ooh, I got the umpire, Mike DeMuro. 2-2. There's no strikes out, one away.
It looks like a breaking ball off the plate away. And it is. Well located pitch.
Top of the 8th. Royals lead the Rangers by the count of 13-2. Everybody underway in spring training action.
I have a reliever getting loose for the Mariners, so it looks like they may play one extra one today if the Mariners can't score here.
Fly ball right field. 2 outs.
It looks like it's Mark Lowe, former Mariner, getting loose in the Mariner pen.
Correct.
Good to see him back in camp with the Mariners.
There's Mark.
Come on, 4-6, give it a ride.
DJ Peterson tried to win it with that swing.
Yes, he did. Why not?
Got the Mariners on the board. First run of the spring with a home run. With 2 outs and nobody on in the first inning.
Come on, 4-6, dig in. Come on, bud.
1-2 to DJ Peterson. Chopped off the plate. That's a foul ball. Three runs, 11 hits, and an error for the Mariners. 3 runs, 6 hits, and an error for San Diego. Here's the 0-2. Hey, didn't get enough. Made a run at it. And we'll see what happens here. Looks like they're going to play one more inning. And right now, let's check in with Brad Adam back in our studios. Brad?
Well, David, Mike, thank you very much. Free baseball, our very first broadcast here on Root Sports. Fantastic. We can talk about the shortstop battle now. We saw Chris Taylor, and Bill, tomorrow I'm sure we're going to see Brad Miller. Both of them played last year, battling for the spot this year. Your thoughts going into the competition there as we take a look at what they did last year at the shortstop position for both players.
Well, I think Chris Taylor is a little bit more polished shortstop defensively. I think he's got a little bit tighter game plan as a hitter. On the other side, Brad Miller, athletic, can really run. He's got some power, hit 10 home runs, capable of hitting more. So I think it's an interesting contrast. Both of them bring certain skill sets to the table that you like. You can't carry both of them. So it'll be an interesting battle. I think competition is good for this team. You need to have some of these internal battles. The fifth spot, the shortstop, the bullpen. These make teams better.
And just because one wins the battle to start the season, the other one going down to Tacoma, doesn't mean that we won't see that player this year.
Again, that competition exists all season long for these two guys. Both really nice young players, and it'll be an interesting competition. I like them both.
And we will see, we think, Brad Miller tomorrow. We'll see Cruz, we'll see Cano, we'll see Kyle Seager. We assume Brad Miller added some weight in the offseason, added some length in the hair. So look forward to seeing that tomorrow. That's at noon tomorrow. Padres and Mariners getting at it again tomorrow, but still playing today in Peoria. Back to the game. It's Dave and Mike. A little extras, gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. Thanks, Brad. Back here in Peoria. Good to see Mark Lowe.
Yeah, I think that's the upside. We're going to get a chance to see Mark pitch here in the 10th inning. It's with the Mariners, and at that time, Mark was 95, 96 miles an hour with a hard slider. We'll see what kind of stuff he has here in his first outing of the spring. I know he has to be thrilled to be back with the Mariners.
Yeah. He looks good. I said, what did you do? He said, you lifting weights or anything? No, he says, all body weight, you know, that system where you use the straps and you do a pull-up and all that kind of stuff. His lower back, he's taking care of that. He's strengthened that. He's strengthened his core. And, you know, it'll be interesting to see how well he's rushing it up there. Since he was last with the Mariners, that was back in '09. Part of the 10 season. Went to Texas, and then the Angels and Cleveland last year. And Mark had a chance to play back-to-back World Series against the Giants and the Cardinals in 10 and 11. Got Almonte to lead it off. 1-0 to the former Mariner. Bounces one to the second baseman, O'Malley. John throws him out. Tommy Medica, RBI single to left, back in the 8th. A run in the 7th, one in the 8th, one in the 9th for San Diego. Tied the score at 3-3. And we've had it confirmed that 10 innings is all we'll play. Director of Information, Tim Evely, passing that notice along. One.
Oh, 5-7, put him in the book. Come on, babe.
So it looks like Mike Kickham, the left-hander, getting loose in the pen for the Mariners. Probably just going to throw a bullpen so he doesn't waste a day.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Haven't really paid close attention to it today, but I think the hitters, for the most part, have stayed in the batter's box, kept that 1 foot in there.
I didn't. That's a very good call. I didn't notice anything different. You know, the umpires never had to say anything. Base hit center field. Bring up Alex Dickerson, 0 for 1, fly to center field back in the 8th.
Hello. Grab ball. Go 5-7. Come on, babe.
One out here in the top of the 10th. Ball 1.
Wouldn't be surprised if Medica tries to steal second. They've been running quite a bit here in the last few innings of this game.
There he goes. Throw down to second. All the throws by Dowd have tailed to his right.
Well, all the throws, he's dropping his elbow, and that's what's causing it to tail. They've been high and right. So he's struggling a little bit with his footwork, and because of that, late with his elbow, you can see him stepping almost towards third, and that's the reason why the ball's tailing back into the runner.
Go ahead run at second. Popped it up, playable. For Jordy Lauer. Oh, he dropped it.
A little bit casual with that one. I think there's a couple of things that will be addressed, and one of them is the footwork by Dowd. We talked about that. Trent Jewett works with the catchers, and then he just takes this one for granted. He looks like he's in good shape and tries to catch it off to the side. Maybe takes his eye off of it. Doesn't look like the sun is a problem at all. Just pretty casual, just really casual, right off the heel of his glove. That will be addressed.
So now the Padres live with 2 on, 1 out.
Second error for the Mariners. Both of them coming late in this game, and we have a tendency to see that here in spring training day with the young kids out there playing.
Former Dodger catcher Tim Federowicz. Mark Lowe could use a double play ball right here. There's 1-0 pitch. Fly ball in deep right field. On the track. Catch is made. Runners advance. 2 away. Reimer Liriano is going to be the hitter.
Go 5-7, put him in the book. Come on, man. Good pitch, good pitch.
Not good news for G-Man Choi.
No,
fractured right fibula. Yikes. Collision at first, 9th inning on a high errant throw by Tyler Smith. Ugh. That's a shame. Mark Lowe struggling here behind 2-0. Breaking ball for strike 2-1.
He has first base open. Veteran pitcher didn't want to give in to him, so he throws him a slider on the outside corner. Liriano looking for the good fastball from Mark.
Popped it up. A.J. Peterson's got some room. Oh, and he drops that. Man, E5.
Yeah, we saw this earlier with Montero, and Peterson does the same thing. He looks for his catcher to see where he's at. I think this fooled him a little bit. You can see him looking down right there. And now he knows he has to run a little bit harder and not able to make the backhanded play. Peterson started as the DH, had to go into third when Choi was hurt. Kivlahan, who was at third, moved over to first.
So 2-2 to Liriano. Reimer Liriano. R-Y-M-E-R. That's how he spells his first name. 2-2 for Mark Lowe. Full count. Three and two, 2 out. Runners at second and third. Breaking ball up high, lost the bases loaded. Jake Gibbert be the hitter. Strike one. Mark Lowe's got to pitch his way out of a jam here.
Hasn't had much help from his defense to get off the field.
Not at all.
A couple of errors behind him in this inning.
5-7.
Right field, hit well. Under control, and that'll do it. A couple errors in that inning. Padres leave them loaded 3-3. We'll play the bottom of the 10th, and that'll be the day here in Peoria. 3-3 is the score.
Mariners trying to avoid a tie, their first preseason game against the Pods. We're asking you today, send in your photos where I root. Well, how about AJ sending this one in? Looks like a little selfie with himself and the cat. And there is little man out there. Looks like he's on the berm enjoying baseball and enjoying some mint chocolate chip ice cream, if I'm not mistaken. Just part of the allure of baseball and the fun of going to a game. Here we go, guys. That sounds pretty good. Bottom of 10 coming up.
All right, Brett, thank you very much. New pitcher for the San Diego Padres. It's all right-handed. Tyler Guerrero takes over. T-run Guerrero. Mike Dowd has driven in 2 runs. Had a tough day throwing out base stealers for the Mariners. He drove in 2 runs. DJ Peterson with a home run get the Mariners on the board in the first inning. We will be right back with you tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific time. Game 2 Cactus League action. And scheduled starter for the Mariners will be Roenis Elias.
Talking about Guerrero, tall, long legs. He is throwing straight downhill. Looks like he's throwing hard.
All right.
Let's see what the Mariners can do here. Tyler Marlette. He's batting in a spot vacated by the injured Ji-Man Choi.
A little bit late on the fastball. Getting in on a hurry. I don't think we've seen Guerrero before, have we?
No, sir.
No. So he has a good arm.
Come on, 7-7. Dig in now. Base knock. Come on, babe.
Base hit. Tyler Marlette gets the Mariners out to a good start here in the bottom of the 10th.
Well, after a couple of fastballs, stays on this breaking ball. Ends up leaving it in the middle of the plate. Hits it hard into the hole, pick up a base hit.
Come on, 6-9. Dig in. Come on, babe.
Ball 1 to Jordy Lara.
Shadow.
That hit by Marlette was the 12th of the day for the Mariners. This one popped up.
Get out. Get out.
Ooh, nicely done. Tommy Medica right at the railing, 1 out. He's a Kivlahan, Patrick Kivlahan.
Does the right thing, finds the railing early and stays with it. Not an easy play with this guy here in Arizona. Kivlahan with a base hit to right field his first time up.
Hit it hard, right field, and it gets by. We got a chance to win this ball game here, and they're going to. Marlette coming around third. The Mariners are going to win it 4-3. A base hit and an E9. Patrick Kivlahan, 2 hits today. And the Mariners win the first spring game of 2015, and they do it in 10 innings.
Well, they do, and I think the storylines are going to be Taijuan Walker, of course, 2 scoreless innings, gave up just the 1 hit, and really looked good in that second inning of work. DJ Peterson with the home run, and then, of course, Kivlahan, somebody that we really wanted to get a good look at this spring. Nice debut for him, a couple of base hits, including the solid line drive. Mistake by the right fielder gets by him, and the Mariners get their first win of the spring.
So there you have it. Mariners off to a good start here in 2015. They beat the Padres by the count of 4-3. Glad you could join us today, and we look forward to being with you again tomorrow at noon Pacific time. For Mike Blowers, I'm Dave Sims. We'll see you tomorrow, everybody, on Mariners Baseball.